It's opening weekend all across the dirt track world, and tonight we talked to our friends down at Ark-La-Tex Speedway in Louisiana. We're going to talk with the boys from the Sooner Late Model Series. Other guests are going to join in the fun as well. We have all your race schedules. We have all the happenings ready to lay all the info out for you guys. So buckle up your seatbelts, y'all. I'm Will Riggs, and it's time to go racing in the Dirt Talk Nation.
There from the start by his side, and through all the scars and pain he'd hide, he'd work extra hours to make ends meet, dragging to the shop flat dead on his feet. She never dreamed it would be this hard, but nothing comes between a man and his racing car. She said we're gonna be a mile down a dead-end street, when you know tracks like that you can never be beat. You lose the love for when time flies. Cries and grease stains in his eyes. There's no other love between a road and a tire. Nothing comes between a man and his racing car.
Yeah, son, it's time for the Dirt Talk Nation. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching the show every week and having some fun with us. We're going to have some great guests on tonight. Colin Bell from Ark-La-Tex Speedway, the announcer down there in Louisiana. He's the Raging Cajun, as I call him. He's going to be joining us here in just a little bit. We appreciate him taking the time out. We got Larry Carr from the Sooner Late Model Series. Now, look, I love late models. I love them. I love how they look. I love how they sound. I love just the racing that late models bring to the racetrack. They're more prevalent around other tracks than they are here in DFW, but I do love me some late models. I love watching them on Race on Texas, which we're going to go over their schedule here in just a little bit. They got some great stuff coming up this weekend as well. So it's opening weekend across most of the dirt track world, you guys. So we're going to be going over a lot of that. Let's go over the current schedule for Friday. Let's go ahead and share this screen out. Boom! Look at that. And of course, I'm getting this schedule directly from Race on Texas. You guys right here, if you guys look at the top corner there, Race on Texas is one of our partners, and our show will be available for rewatch or reviewing or whatever the word would be. You can watch it again on the Race on Texas, or actually raceon.com in the very near future. And I will be producing the RPM Rewind, where it's a video we post up on Sunday afternoon, which is a rewind of everything that happens at RPM Speedway, my home speedway, starting this weekend. Of course, so let's see, Friday. Of course, we have RPM Speedway kicks off this Saturday. We'll talk about that more later on, but right now we're going to talk about the Comp Cams Super Dirt Series at Poplar Bluff Motor Park right here. You can get all that information on Race On. You don't have to be a member to get the information of where it is, but if you go over to Race On, you can also go ahead and join up and pay your membership and watch any of these races from your house if you can't make it out to the Speedway. Super B Speedway getting the Cannonball Street Stock race going down this weekend. We'll have some promotions from KR Promotions and the 99 Nationals at Tri-State Speedway up in Oklahoma. Going to be an awesome time at that racetrack. I promise you. We talked to KR last week, and this right here is something I'm going to look forward to watching on Sunday afternoon. Texarkana 67 Speedway, their regular race program gets underway this Friday night, as well as Harder Texas Speedway down in the Waco area. The 5th annual Baby Blue, is that a Hackrow? Well, maybe we'll talk to these guys later on, and they can finalize that. Hunt County Raceway gets a regular race program underway Friday night. We'll have the guys from Hunt County Raceway on the show next week, along with Chris David, the owner of Race on Texas. They'll be on, and then that will end our Friday that we're looking at right there. And coming up on Saturday, you got the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series still going on at Old Number 1 Speedway. The Super B Speedway back-to-back racing at Friday and Saturday night out there with the Cannonball Street Stock race. You'll have the modifieds on the track out at KSP Kennedale Speedway Park. That's in Kennedale, Texas. And then you got the Southern States modifieds at 105 Speedway. Big O Speedway is the 5th Founders Day racing going on. Of course, RPM, our regular race program, gets underway this Saturday night, we got the modifieds. We got the 305 Race Saver Sprints. We got the limited modifieds. We got the factory stocks and the A600 wing class out there on Saturday night. So you guys come on out and get with us and let's have us a good time out at RPM Speedway for opening night. We want to pack out those stands, you guys. So going on out there. I-37 has the total eclipse of the race going down on Saturday night. South Texas Race Ranch, they got the Texas Dirt Trucks. Now, I want to see those. I'm going to have to watch this one on Sunday as well. That looks really, really cool. Down at Ark-La-Tex Speedway, we'll talk to Colin Bell here shortly about the Southern Wing Modifieds down at Ark-La-Tex Speedway this Saturday night. He'll be on. And, of course, night 2 of the 99 Nationals at Tri-State Speedway in Oklahoma. Rocket Raceway Park up in Petty, Texas. They all have their Rocket Challenge going on this Saturday night. Grayson County Speedway, you can go find their regular race program. And out at Boot Hill Speedway, the 11th annual Cajun Clash going down out there. A Heart of Texas Speedway and the IMCA Race Saver Sprints. That's going down on Saturday night. The regular race program getting done at Texana Raceway Park. And then Rocket Raceway Park is going to have night 2 of their racing going down on Saturday. So many races going on. I think some of these are complicated. These are all we got into next week, didn't we? That's my bad right there. That's my bad. After we got out of Grayson County Speedway, I didn't look at the dates there, and looks like we got out of the other stuff. Look, man, I'm super excited about race weekend. All kinds of good stuff coming up. I told you guys we're going to try to cover everything, including outside of the DFW Metroplex. Before, when we started this show, we did a bunch of other stuff where we're basically focused on the tracks I worked at as I was getting my feet under me. But now we're trying to do all kinds of stuff. Let's get rid of that. And let's bring on Colin Bell, Ark-La-Tex Speedway. What's going on, buddy?
Not much.
Man, so we just got through going over this weekend's schedule, and you guys got the Southern Wing Modifieds coming to town, man. Tell us how that's going to go down.
Yeah, so got the wing mods at Ark-La-Tex. I'm actually going to be traveling this weekend. My little brother's going to cover for me at Ark-La-Tex. But yeah, the wing mods haven't been at Ark-La-Tex in quite a while. Cody Adams just started this new series, and they'll be running their second night. They ran at Diamond Park in Arkansas last week.
And where are you going to be working at this weekend?
I will be at Waco on Friday for the Baby Blue Harcrow Memorial. And then I'll be at 105 Saturday because I travel with the Southern States Modifieds. I'm their announcer also.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So how did you get into this crazy world of dirt track racing, my dude?
So I've been in dirt track racing my whole life. My dad and my uncle race, and then my cousin currently races. I got into announcing because my little brother was doing it first, and then Ark-La-Tex was looking for somebody, and there's quite a few tracks right around here. I mean, where I live in Minden, there's about 5 within 2 hours, and so
the same thing really, here in DFW.
Not really one announcer can cover all that, and it kind of was gravitating towards that. Some other guys were getting out of it and retiring, and Zach Clark was at a few of them, but again, you can't be at all 5 of them. Just tracks were running.
As much as we want to be,
Exactly.
So you with the traveling series, man. Tell me how you got hooked up with those guys, and are they out of your area there in Louisiana?
Yeah, so they're out of Louisiana. Most of our guys are based around Shreveport, and then we have a few Texas guys from South Louisiana, and we're continuing to grow. Hoping to get a few drivers down in the Houston area. We got a few in Dallas, and some of that, but there was a ownership change at Ark-La-Tex in 2022. So I started in 21. Gene Border, who built the track, was still owning it at that point. And he sold it to Donnie Powers, who I didn't know at that time.
Right.
Modifieds had died down, and Donnie's raced modifieds forever, but we didn't really have many modified races. So he didn't know who I was. Ark-La-Tex was not on Race On at that point because Gene was a little bit old school.
Yeah, I can relax. I've fought that battle myself, my man. Fought that battle myself.
So Donnie went another direction in the announcing department at that point, and I didn't find out till about February or March.
Right.
And so I made a post on my page talking about I was looking for an opportunity, and At that point, it was the Short Track Super Series Cajun region. And they were entering their second season, and they sent me a message, wanted to give me a chance. And I've been with them for 3 years now.
So calling you the
That's
Raging
rebranded.
Cajun, I mean, you're the Raging Cajun. You're my dude. You're my Raging Cajun down in Louisiana. That's how I'm going to refer to you from now on.
Yeah, it's not really down. We're kind of like exactly
Kind of east, a little southeast, because you're in Shreveport, right?
I'm in Minden, which is about 40 minutes to the other side of Shreveport, between Ruston and Shreveport.
I've probably driven through there. When I was a traveling musician, we went down 20 quite a bit.
Yeah, if you go past Houghton and Bossier on 20, you go through Minden. Used
Very
to be
nice.
a racetrack there. Unfortunately, I pass it every day and see the house in the infield.
Yeah, that's and there in there used to be an old track right in Shreveport, like right before you get, maybe not quite to Shreveport yet. I don't know. It's right down the left hand. It's like right after you cross the Louisiana border.
That's Boot Hill. They're still open.
Boot Hill. Okay, that's still right.
Right off of exit 3. They've been open for 51 years now.
Yeah, I knew there was a racetrack down there that we used to pass because my wife we love going down to the Horseshoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
the fairgrounds actually used to have an asphalt track, which that probably 25 years ago. Before, probably longer, before I was born, I believe. So
as a race guy, I'm kind of I enjoy like the Fast and the Furious movies, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of the premise in there was that he saw his dad die in a stock car race on asphalt, and I'm like, where the heck do they have those at? And I went to visit my brother in Pensacola, Florida, and there's actually an asphalt stock car track there that does racing. Just Five Flags, yeah. And I'm like, what? And then they have like 3 dirt tracks in the same city. I'm like, holy crap, man! Because I looked up Pensacola. Pensacola is literally smaller than Rockwall, Texas, where I live. Like there's the population is not very high at all, but there must be plenty of dirt trackers down there because there's 3 tracks within 40 miles. I mean, there's one in Milton, there's one in Pensacola, and it's a lot. It's a lot of dirt track racing to go around, and it's cool that you're traveling around the different tracks. I actually want to do that next year. That's kind of my goal, is to link up with one of these traveling series and go do that next year, because I think it'd be like really cool to be able to do stuff like that as well. It'd be fun. Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite track?
Ark-La-Tex.
Not are you just saying Ark-La-Tex is your favorite track?
No, and
you're just saying it.
I may ruffle some feathers with this, which probably ain't the smartest move, since a lot of different tracks employ me. I was talking to Rodney Rodriguez last night, the host of the Revved Up Sports Show.
Right.
I was telling him I'm a little bit spoiled by starting at Ark-La-Tex. With starting at Ark-La-Tex, when I go to some other tracks, it's like Ark-La-Tex is 3 wide every lap. There's something to talk about every single lap, and it's really challenged me as an announcer to go to other tracks and try to keep it sounding exciting.
Is Ark-La-Tex, is that a 3? Is that a 3/8 mile?
That is a 1/4 mile.
Oh, quarter-mile track. So yeah, that's of course you got plenty of racing.
It is a D shape. You really never stop turning.
Right.
It's outstanding. It's called the land of the 3 wide for a reason.
So
I mean, other tracks, every track has good racing, but again, none of them have quite matched up to Ark-La-Tex, and so I got to dial back my intensity and my energy at some of these other ones, but also try to make it seem more exciting than it is sometimes. That's the challenge.
Speaking of spoiled, because I started my very first race I ever called was at the Devil's Bowl. And I mean, just the history of the Devil's Bowl, growing up going to the Devil's Bowl. I grew up in Mesquite, literally my whole life going to the Devil's Bowl. And that's like, I got Devil's Bowl and the Sportatorium. That's like, I got to go see the Von Erichs on Friday, and then dirt track racing on Saturday nights at the Devil's Bowl. And then being able to start calling races there at the Devil's Bowl was pretty damn awesome, So just the history of that. And I was actually talking to somebody earlier today. I was actually in the booth the night that Kyle Larson broke the Devil's Bowl track record, not once, not twice, but 3 times in the same night, which just is absolutely baffling, dude. Just like watching him out there. He's like, go fast, turn left, That's so it's like on the quarter-mile track though. like with the big, do you guys ever get the big sprint cars down there? Like the 460s?
Not really.
There's not a lot of room for those guys to get going.
There's a lot of politics within racing, but also it's just common sense.
Oh yeah, that's too small.
You don't have 410 sprint cars around here.
Mm-mm.
You really don't have 360 sprint cars around here, but we do get an occasional 360 show. The Elite Outlaw non-wing series came last year.
Right.
So a bunch of them were on 360s and such, and I think maybe some 410s, but again, they ran the non-wing. And we ended up with like 21 or so, but it's hard for a series to show up somewhere and not get any local cars to help them with their count.
With their car count, yeah.
Which again, that's the thing that the Southern States Modifieds, that's our challenge with going to Cleveland. Our closest driver to 105 is 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And we're not there's no Houston drivers as of right now that have one of these Northeast style big cars.
Right.
And we're hoping some of them get them in the future because 105 is great to us. We run there about 5 times a year and they continue to throw money at us. So,
all right, what's your favorite class to watch? Okay, let me rephrase that. What's your favorite class that only comes to town every now and then you get to watch? Because clearly
super late models.
Super late. See, I'm a late model guy myself, dude. I love them. I think they're awesome. I race dirt oval RC cars. I want to race the late models series in that, but they're like $1,000 a car, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I race the Mud Boss, which is basically a limited modified. So, I love it.
Super late models are one of the only classes I haven't gotten to announce yet. I've done quite a few crate late model shows as we run them semi-weekly over here, and also the DFW series that Daniel puts on.
Right. So one last thing, and I'm going to cut you loose and let you get back to it. Your wife's probably sitting there next to you going, God, I wish it was to be finished. We're already done with dinner. Or she's still eating dinner.
Yeah, she's still in Chili's.
She's still inside Chili's. So for you guys, so we worked this out, and he's like, all right, I'm going to run to dinner first. And he like literally 5 till 7. He's like, my dinner just came. We're like, oh, well, we still are doing the show. I don't want to pause because you're eating. So did you eat all your food or did you just eat part of it?
Oh, I ate all of it.
Carved it down, son. And then your poor wife is now just sitting alone in Chile. So let's get this over with. One last question. Hey, man, when you come to town to DFW, in the DFW Metroplex, rather, because there's tons of tracks here, what's your favorite track in the DFW Metroplex?
Hunt County.
Hunt County Raceway. Actually,
Hunt County and RPM are both up there for me.
I love. I'm so looking forward to returning to the booth this weekend. Hunt County Raceway is like literally 20 minutes from where I live, and so they're actually going to be on the show next week to talk about what they got going on down there. Yeah. But man, we appreciate you, Colin. We appreciate you.
If you expand the DFW area, it would be Waco. It depends on how far you're.
Ark-La-Tex is a good track, man. I love passing by there. We always pass it on the way to, of course, on the way to Austin, obviously.
Yeah.
But the best part about going from Dallas to heart of Texas is you get to stop in West and get the kolaches, bro. That's what's
my wife
the best part.
Loves the kolaches. Every time I go to Hot, I have to get her kolaches.
Oh, absolutely. Kolaches are the best, man. Look, I'm a big boy.
And something I didn't realize was how close some of those tracks are. I announced the Enduro at Waco, and they started at like 6, and we were done by 7:15. It took an hour and 15 minutes to run 250 laps. I drove an hour and 8 minutes north to Kennedale and did pit interviews for all of their winners. That's how close those two tracks really are.
Waco to Kennedale might be 90 minutes with traffic.
It's an hour and 8 minutes exactly.
Yeah, I was saying
same as Big O. Big O and Kennedale are the same exact distance away from Heart of Texas.
Because the cool thing is, like, if you're coming up from Heart of Texas, you go 35, you get that 287 cutoff, and it takes you directly to KSP, man. It's really cool. Well, brother, get back in there with your wife. We don't want to leave her sitting at the table too long by herself. Tell her my apologies. Maybe next time that you know that you're on the show, you won't go to dinner so early. And we'll talk to you next time, brother.
All right. Y'all can hear me at Waco on Friday, Heart of Texas, and then 105 on Saturday. The baby blue race is going to be a big one.
Heck yeah, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Be good, brother. There he goes, y'all. Colin Bell. We got Larry Carr from the Sooner Late Model Series coming up next. Stick around. This is the Dirt Talk Nation. Hey, y'all, we are back here in the Dirt Talk Nation where we're going to talk dirt track racing from all over, not just Texas, not just DFW, not just, this area, but we're going to try to venture out into different areas. Okay, so we've already talked to people from Colorado and Nebraska with BST Promotions. We've talked to Oklahoma. We've talked to Texas. Now we talked to Louisiana. Now we're going to go back to Oklahoma. Joining us on the show right now, it is Larry Carr, the voice of the Sooner Late Model Series. What's going on, Larry?
Hey, good evening, Willie.
How you doing, Bubba?
Hey, I'm great, man. Good to be on the show.
Man, I appreciate you jumping on with us here tonight. And, like I told you, man, late models are some of my favorites. And, you travel around with the series, correct?
Absolutely. I've never missed a show with the series.
And how long?
I believe we've been together for 10 years now.
All right. Nice. Now, where are you guys going to be at this weekend?
This weekend we will be at Enid Speedway in Enid, Oklahoma.
Enid, Oklahoma.
Big opening night for Enid Speedway for the year. Some major changes have taken place up there. We're really excited about going up there and seeing what's new up there that Kip and Mark have worked on. And we hope to have some new stuff going for the fans and for the drivers as well. We started a new track association, the Enid Racing Association, was begun this season. And that'll be raising money through 50-50 tickets and bake sales and this and that and the other for Driver Points Fund and events throughout the year. Dustin Schoonover has been appointed as the first president of the association, and he's a local driver there in Enid who is already fantastically involved with the track there. He does the junior fan club for him there, and just is one of the guys that you can go to and say, hey, Dustin, will you take this over and do this? And he jumps right in and he does a fantastic job. So my hat is absolutely off to him. And we're really excited about getting the season started up there. Week after that, if you don't mind me continuing, April 13th, we'll move to Beaver County Speedway, our first time ever at the newly reopened Beaver County Speedway under the promotion of Mark Brill and Kip Hughes. And I'm really excited about going up there and seeing what far northwestern Oklahoma racing looks like and what Beaver County Speedway looks like, and opening that track back up for 3 races this year.
Now, do you guys, I know it's the Sooner Late Model Series, do you guys only race in Oklahoma, or do you travel outside? No, we got about a 5-state area that we travel to, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. We have been to Missouri, I believe, a time or two. So, do you guys have any Texas dates on the books for this year?
You caught me, Willie, because as you know, I was unprepared for this show.
Oh, I know. I was last minute.
Don't quote me on this, but I don't believe so. Like I said, I'd have to look, and my multitasking isn't good, so let's stick to what I do know.
I got you, buddy. I appreciate it. But I do want to say thank you so much for jumping on. I know it's last minute. We had a cancellation from another guest, and I can only talk so much. And literally nobody wants to hear me talk the entire absolute time of the show. That's why I love having guests on. And we used to have a 2-hour show, but we cut it down to 1 hour and brought in more guests so we could keep things moving. And that's kind of how we want to, format the show this year so we can have all kinds of stuff going on. And tell us where else we can find you around Oklahoma and the area that you guys got going on this year, and any big races, any 2-night race features you guys got going on this year.
Well, we did have the 2 nights set up at Beaver and Enid the 5th and 6th of April, but due to Dodge City throwing a show in on April 5th, we canceled our show. Well, we didn't cancel. We moved our show at Beaver to April 13th out of consideration both for Dodge City and for our drivers, their drivers who might want to participate in either of both shows. I believe we do have further down in the season another 2-day event at Beaver and Enid. That's going to be most of our 2-day shows this year will be those. I do need to mention, absolutely need to mention our new title sponsor, Apex Healthcare Partners, who came on this year is sponsoring the series no matter where we go. Also, Complete Well Testing, who has been our series sponsor for several years now. And, of course, the Hayden Ross Motorsports Foundation, which is if it's not our biggest sponsor, but I think it's our most important sponsor for what it does, because the Hayden Ross Motorsports Foundation is named in honor of Hayden Ross, our young champion from a couple of years ago. He was Rookie of the Year and champion, just a phenomenal driver. Youngest member of our series, lost his life away from the track, and a foundation was set up in his honor to continue motorsports, to get money to schools, to technical schools, to colleges, to shop classes, to try to keep racing alive with the young people, because, Willie, that's our future. If we can't get the young people involved in racing, we're done.
You know, and I say the same thing about, doing events at the tracks for kids, to keep kids going on. And I've talked about this so many times. I know the guys like to have those awesome big enclosed trailers with all their stuff on it, but kids can't see that. The open trailer, driving down the highway, and they look out and there's a freaking badass race car on the trailer. That excites the imagination of the kids, and they're going to start going, hey, I want to go see
I remember myself being 6-7 years old and seeing the race cars sitting out either, on Saturday afternoon. They'd set them out in front of the shops, before the races that night, or you'd see them going down the road on the open trailers. And yeah, you get super excited, jump up and down, start waving at them. And we still have a few drivers, I'm glad to say, who bring their cars in open like that. Not all of us are closed trailer guys.
I love the open trailer for that reason, because like I said, it excites the mind. It ignites the imagination of the kids, and then they're going to hassle their parents. Hey man, I want to go do that. I want to go do that. I want to go do that. And then the parents are like, okay, fine, let's go do that. And now you have a hooked generation, a child who's just like, man, this is awesome. Racing is awesome. And,
absolutely.
Once you
the only caution I would say is, if you're going to have an open trailer, you better be ready every time you stop to get fuel, every time you stop to eat, to get mobbed by people wanting to know about the car. And, most of the guys that I know the one thing, if you come up to them and they want to start talking about their race car, you can spend an hour.
They'll be using gas for an hour and a half. The kids will walk up. They'll want to look at the car and take pictures. But that's good. That's good for the sport. It's definitely good for the driver. You know what I mean? Like, that driver's just winning new fans. So if those people now come to the track, guess who they're cheering for? Guess whose T-shirts they're buying? It's just a positive all the way around. And I love these traveling series too, because they give people an opportunity to see stuff that they don't see every single week. That's why I love it when the late models come to town. I love it when the big sprint cars come to town. It's just fun. It's just a fun stuff to get involved in. I spent 5 years away from racing, pursuing music. And so I was happy to be able to get the call to come back and do some race announcing this year, and going to try to do a whole lot more during the 2024 season, especially with the Dirt Talk Nation. And we're thinking about hosting some like kickoff, not kickoff, but like tailgate parties at the racetrack. We're going to get some sponsors and some food trucks out there to do some stuff like that. I think that would be an awesome way to get things sparked up and get people there early and get people excited about a night of racing at the racetrack. There's so many ideas I have for special promotions, you know what I mean? And so I think that would be a really cool way to get people involved. And up there, when you guys are going your Traveler Series, what's one of the coolest things you've seen tracks do to get more people excited about racing?
Let's see. I've seen a lot of free nights, where they let a certain town in free. We've done some crazy things with the redraws for our starting positions, where they get the fans involved with using Frisbees to redraw the starts. What else have we done? Candy drops and all sorts of bicycle giveaways and backpack giveaways. Every year in Enid Speedway, we do a big back to school promotion. We give away books or backpacks loaded with school supplies and stuff. And I've seen a lot of tracks do that. I'm a factory stock guy, but I love traveling with the late model series because it's like you say, when you go to these places where they don't get to see late models on a weekly basis, they are so glad you're there. They're so appreciative. And it's like, I don't know, it's for me, it's just great because it just gets me more fired up. And I'm not really the kind of guy that needs a lot of being fired up, but you know.
I get fired up. I get fired up for racing. Like I'm like, it's Wednesday. I still got 3 days before I can get in the booth, man. I'm super excited to get in there and just be like, hey, it's time for some racing, you know. And I get revved up for this show, you know. And I'm people say, man, you're super excited every week you do this show. And I'm like, man, because I love racing. I love it, and I love having people on to talk racing. And like I said, I talk about it all the time. When I first started the Dirt Talk Nation, I worked at Devil's Bowl Speedway in Mesquite and RPM Speedway in Crandall. And so I was kind of hyper focused on just those two tracks. But now I'm trying to spend this year and talk to, you know, other tracks. Like I said, we've had BST Promotions on. They do south. Hold on, I got to look at my hand. Southeast Colorado and Southwest Nebraska, which is probably not far from your Northwest Oklahoma. So we talked to those guys to start the season. We talked to promoters. We talked to race car drivers. And we want to talk to everybody who's involved in racing. And I just had the idea before this show. I'm going to have a Saturday Super Chat YouTube video. I'm going to go to the track early, and we're going to do a super chat and have guests sit down with us and have where fans can come on the show, just like you came on the show, and talk racing. And we'll have like contests and giveaways for the super chat. I got to, get all the details worked out on that. But it's one of the cool things that I really look forward to doing. And man, I'd love to come up there and check you guys out on one of my off weekends. I'm gonna have to look at your schedule, and then I'll hit you up, Larry. Be like, hey man, we're gonna see if we get somewhere. I wouldn't say close, but relatively close to Dallas. Right. Oklahoma's not far. Oklahoma's not far from Dallas.
Well, let me throw in a couple of plugs real quick. Our Facebook page is, of course, Sooner Late Model Series on Facebook. www.soonerlatemodelseries on the internet. You'll get your rules, you get your series stories, the schedule, the points breakdown, how we do the points, and also our running points throughout the year. All that on there. And we'd be glad to have you come up. I hope that you give us an opportunity to come back on your show and let me maybe bring one of my, more eloquacious, I believe is the word, drivers. One of my drivers who talks real good, who talks real purdy. I get me a driver that can talk real purdy. He'll come on.
We don't want to talk to those guys, man. We don't want to talk to those guys at all.
No, heck, some of my guys will keep you going all night if you got them on here. They're pretty good guys. I love my group. They're a really tight-knit group. We help each other out when we go from track to track. We always like to put on a good show from the fans. And if that means that, whoops, where'd we go?
No, I got you small now because I got the
okay. If that means that we all have to get out and help each other and, rebuild cars or what we've got to do in between tracks or in the parking lot at the motel or whatever when we're traveling, then that's what we do. It's a really, really great group of guys, really close and tight knit. And I couldn't ask for a better group. I really couldn't.
Man, I want to thank Larry. I do seriously want to thank you for coming on. You came on super late notice, as I asked this afternoon. We did have a cancellation on the show, but that's okay. We're getting them back on. They had a family emergency. We're going to get them back on in the very near future. But Larry, I want to say thank you so much for jumping on with us, and I appreciate you coming on. And we'll talk to you definitely once, maybe even twice during the season, and see how things are going with the late model series. And maybe I'll come up to Oklahoma and maybe we can share the booth or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you find me in the booth, just come on up and I'll pull over and let you in.
Oh, man, that'd be good times right there, Larry. I appreciate it so much, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely, okay? Willie. Thank you for having me on.
You got it, bud. Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night. There he goes, y'all. Larry Carr of the Sooner Late Model Series. Find them online, SoonerLateModelSeries.com. I'll just pump the website up there one more time, SoonerLateModelSeries.com. This is what it looks like. Go check them out. They got their entire all the good stuff that he talked about, and here's their schedule they got coming up for the 2024 season. They get Enid Speedway, Beaver County Raceway in Beaver, Oklahoma, back in Enid, Caney Valley Speedway in Caney, Kansas, Longdale, Oklahoma, Ada, Oklahoma, Van Buren, Arkansas. Look, they're all over. Let's see, Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Looks like that's just the 3 that they're working on this year. But you guys find a way to get out there and check out those, the Sooner or Late Model Series. It'd be super awesome. And look, you can get it on my Race Pass as well, but you need to be watching Race on Texas. You guys, let me jump this out of here. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more racing right here in the Dirt Talk Nation. Oh, we're back here in the Dirt Talk Nation. Thank you guys so much for joining the show. Remember, you can join in by simply commenting on the show on Facebook or YouTube, and that will come directly into us right here into the broadcast station, as it were, or my home office. And if you guys were, look, see right over here on my right shoulder right there, that is my Mud Boss right there. Clearly looks just like this limited modified right here. They call it an East Coast modified. Some people do, but it looks just like this limited modified right here. Race those on Friday nights at my home hobby shop, which would be Indy RC World in Garland, Texas. Look, I want to tell you guys about my friends at East Texas Towers. If you are looking for a tower you need better cell phone service, you live out in the country, you need better internet service, you need you got a ham radio, you need something to get better signal to where you are, so you need a taller tower. East Texas Towers. Kenny Love and his whole team will take care of you. Find them online at easttexastowers.com. Check it out. We're also going to have our friends on from Black Acid. Look, you see it right there. Boom. Black Acid Racing Apparel. They got some sweet mock-ups of Dirt Talk Nation gear that you guys can go online and pick up for yourselves and be the hit of the racetrack. I promise you, these are going to look so cool with the brand new logo, which you can find right here on the, look, my finger's not working. Boom, right on the screen right there is a brand new Dirt Talk Nation logo for the 2024 season and beyond. So we're going to have t-shirts, ball caps, and then some. So you guys just watch out for those. Of course, I am super thankful for our friends right here at Race on Texas for picking up our show to have on their network. You'll be able to watch the replay on Race On in the very, very near future. We appreciate everybody for tuning in for that. Let's go and swap this over. Boom, look at that. Boom. Make it a little easier to see right there. But you guys can, we'll be able to watch the replay of the show very, very soon on Race On. And then on Sunday evenings, you'll be able to watch the RPM Rewind with me, Will Riggs, giving you the rewind and updates on all the race happenings at RPM Speedway that happened on the night before on Saturday night. So super thankful for all the opportunities we've had this year, and super thankful for the people who were able to get on and join in the show. Hold on, they're asking if they can jump on. So there's, like I said, tons of stuff to talk about in the racing world. We want to know what you want us to talk more about or cover more. What do you want us to cover more here on the Dirt Talk Nation? We're trying, like I said, we're trying to expand outside of DFW, Texas, Oklahoma. We're going to go outside of that. So if you got time to go outside of that, you live outside of that, but you want us to be, covering maybe your home track. Cool. We can do that. We're going to have the guys from the Outlaw Motor Speedway. We'll have them on in the very near future. The guys from Hunt County Raceway out in Hunt County, Greenville, Texas area. They're going to be on next week on the show. Also next week, Chris David, the owner of Race On, is going to jump on with us, and we're going to talk about, of course, Race On and all the things they got going on here with the Race On Network. This is their 10th year of bringing racing to you via the internet and their channel, and now they're full on network. You guys, they started 10 years ago. They were Race On Texas. That's how I remembered them until I came back to the racing world. Now they're just Race On because they cover outside of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and then some, right? They cover all of these things and all these places. So you guys make sure if you want to check out all the racing, just go to raceon.com. And matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up right here. We're just gonna do this. Hold on, let me share this screen here. I got settings. We're gonna present my screen here, and we're gonna share this screen, which is the Race On. Oh no, not that. Okay, this one right here. So if you click on join, it's $40 a month. If you can't make it out to the track, boom, you get 450 scheduled races throughout the 2024 season from tracks all around. So even if you can go to your regular track, your home track all the time or every week, this $40 a month, which equates to about $10 a week, you can watch races from racetracks from all over and just watch your favorite kind of racing, man. I love late models, so you can bet I'm gonna be watching these late models. I love the I'm gonna check this out, this 99 Nationals. I'm gonna check that out on Sunday, man, because Kevin Rogers, KR Promotions, does a hell of a job putting stuff together. So I'm gonna be checking those out. I'm gonna be checking out Ark-La-Tex Speedway. I'm also gonna be checking out Hunt County Raceway and what they're doing out there as well. This is literally 20 minutes from my house, so I'm going to check all that stuff out. And if you're a race fan, you probably should be checking all that stuff out too, or have it for entertainment purposes. Put it on in the shop. Put it on in the if you're doing something else. That's what I do. I have a hobby room upstairs where I work on my dirt cars, and I turn those on upstairs, and boom, it's gone. I don't have to even do anything. I just watch it up there and work on my cars and all the other jazz. So make sure you get over to Race On and see what they're doing over there. We did have a guest cancel on us, so I'm trying to see if another guest wants to jump on with us. In the meantime, that's why I'm looking around, not looking directly at the camera. Trying to get them to jump on and talk about what's going on at their racetrack. We did have a guest cancel. It stinks, but I get it. It's a family emergency, so they're going to jump on with us another time. 100% get it. Let me see here. We got about 15. Hold on. So what we want to know is what you want to talk about. Oh, look, got some comments coming in. Blaine Murphy. Oh, we're going to get Blaine on very, very soon. Well, let's get through the first race weekend before we get Blaine on the show, so we have a little more to talk about than just slot car racing there. Christopher Kennedy. Kennedy and I, actually, what's crazy is like there's a lot of the guys that race dirt track here in DFW that we actually all also drag race slot cars together, which is a good time when I can get up and down the track. But yeah, we're gonna get Blaine on after we get the race season started, which of course kicks off this Saturday night. I'm super excited about it. You can find me at RPM Speedway. You can look online, find our website. It's rpmdirt.com. Look, I'm hitting the wrong stuff, so I can't even type at the same time. It'll be rpmdirt.com, and we got all kinds of good stuff coming up today. This Saturday, my bad. As it is week one. That's right, week one of weekly racing. It is the opening night. The pits open at 5 o'clock. Gates open at 6. Hot laps at 6:30. Racing starts at 7 or thereabouts. If you don't know where the track is, it's over in Crandall, Texas. It's 1267 CR 4104. It's not far off the highway there on 175. So you guys check it out. We'll have the limited modifieds, factory stocks, modifieds, 305 sprints, and the A-class micros on the track. If you can't make it out, guess where you can watch it? That's right, raceon.com. You go and check those out, and that's this Saturday. So you guys come on out and join me for that. My wife will be running the 50-50 this year. So you guys, if you see her slinging them 50-50s in the stands, you guys get some 50-50 tickets, and I'm pretty sure this is how it used to be. I'm pretty sure how it works. The 50% goes to the winner, and then the other 50% it goes to the points fund. So you guys make sure that you buy as many 50-50 tickets as you can or want to every Saturday night at RPM Speedway. My oldest daughter, I got to confirm this, but pretty sure she's going to be singing the national anthem to get everything kicked off this Saturday night. So it's going to be a good night of racing. So, oh, sweet. We're going to have the people from Hot Speedway, Heart of Texas Speedway down in Waco. They're about to jump on with us, and we're going to talk to them before we wrap up the show. You can find them also on Race On Texas. Race On. It's going to give me a hard time to stop saying Race On Texas, but we're going to do that. Anyway, we're going to bring on, it's Selby Holder. Selby, what's going on, my man?
Oh, not much. Just trying to make it through the week.
Man, me too. I'm ready for Saturday. It's opening night for me, at RPM Speedway. So I'm really excited to get back into calling some races. We had the ASCS cancel out on us, and so this will be our first race of the year. I'm super excited about that. But you guys have had a few races already, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've had some great races.
I don't want to talk about the drama from last week because, nobody wants to stir up that kind of BS again because it's already handled. But you guys got a lot of you got the late I forget what class you have, and you got the Baby Blue High Chrome Memorial this weekend, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This weekend is the Baby Blue High Chrome Memorial. We used to have it there on July 4th weekend, and we decided to change our schedule around a little bit this year and do a 2-day show in the middle of the year. Kind of a big 2-day show for the guys because a lot of the other tracks around are shut down, for that weekend. And so we talked to the Harcrow family, and we moved it to the first weekend in April. And they do a great job with all the sponsors that step up each and every year to run that event and for the purse and things of that nature. So the stock cars, IMCA stock cars, will be running for $15.50 to win and $150 to start, no entry fee. Should be a great night of racing along with all of our other weekly racing classes.
Now, you guys have a lot of good stuff going on at the racetrack this year. What are some of the so look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to share my screen, and then it'll kick us over to the side, right? But we're going to pull up your schedule on your website, which is Heart O Texas Speedway.com, not Heart of, it's Heart O. Yep. Texas Speedway, because that's how we talk in Texas. Heart of Texas, y'all.
There you go.
Let me share this screen real quick, and we're going to talk about the we're going to share the official site, and that's going to kick us over to the site. You guys got some good stuff coming up. March 23rd. Wait, y'all already did this. My bad. I got to get to this month. You guys had monster trucks out there. What's happening with that? That was awesome. I should have came out for that.
We do that every year. Usually third weekend in March. We literally pack the house with fans on a Saturday afternoon. And this year we had Derek Anderson, the Great Digger driver, with a special 2-seater monster truck that people could pay to actually ride and jump all the stuff with it. It was crazy exciting. So that was really great. Like I said, this week we've got the Baby Blue Harcrow Memorial. Then we'll roll back into weekly racing with the Race Saver IMCA sprints that'll come on the 12th. And then on the 19th, we got our our Tom series. We have them 2 or 3 times a year. They do a heck of a job with that series. John and Nikki Webb and all the crew that run that series. And then this year, we added an extreme flat track motorcycle race. And the guys contacted us for the last year or two wanting to put a race on. So it's going to be pretty neat and pretty different. The owner of the racetrack, his motto is "I'll try anything once."
Right.
And so we're gonna give it a whirl and see what it is. And then right after that, we bring the ASCS Elite wing sprint cars in for the Gene Adamczyk Memorial. Gene was the previous owner of the Speedway, and the first ASCS race of the year is always a memorial race for him and his wife, and sometimes his kids. Out of Knoxville will come out and attend that race. And then right after that,
that's a 3-day race weekend right there, man.
And then right after that, we'll bring the USMTS mod series will come and race with us. So Thursday is actually a practice night for them, but then the 3rd and the 4th is actually 2 days worth of racing there at the Speedway. So it's great. And then we roll into demo derby and then sprints.
Look, the demo derby, man. Tell me about the demo derby, because
it's crazy. I mean, every year it seems like it gets bigger and bigger. But if there's 10 or more cars, we do 1,000 a win, and I think we paid the top out on 3 or 4 or 5 classes. We've got BYOT Auto Salvage is just right up the road from us, one of our longtime sponsors. They give us a number of cars, and then the area demo guys and racers that have cars out in the field, they get them fired up and come out there, and we crash them in front of the fans at the end of the night.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. What is a train race? I'm really curious.
The train race, I picked this up from a couple of tracks up north that run this. So it's basically 2 compact cars chained together. There's a driver in each one of them. The front car is the engine and runs. The back car has an engine in it, but it's not running. They only have brakes. And the object of the race is number 1 is to finish the most laps. Number 2 is to not break the chain. Once your chain's broke, you're out. So a couple of the Iowa tracks and one up in Missouri has run these races, and so I took the rules from them to try to do that. We've got 2 of them scheduled. We're going to see how the first one goes, see how much interest we have in it, but just trying to bring something different for the fans in the stands to come out and watch. Try to get some new blood to come in and watch the races on a Friday night, because it gets tough. We run our season all the way up till the end of August, and then we shut it down simply because of high school football. 100% honest to you.
Yeah, buddy.
High school football's there Friday nights. Everybody's rolling up to town and going to the football stadiums in Texas. So we honestly can't compete with Friday night football in Texas. So we try to pack as much as we can in, usually in the first 2/3 of our season, because the later part of our season is when it gets hot and tempers flare and people decide to go to the lake or go on vacation. So that's what we try to do.
But the good thing is they can watch you on Race On Texas. They can't make it, they can't make it to the track. You can watch on Race On.
Absolutely.
Live and replay. That's Race On is so cool. The kid, of course, they picked our show up, and then pretty soon it'll be listed on their podcast page so that people can go back and rewatch our show, and which is huge for us, And I talked about this with with both of our guests tonight about the different types of promotions, ways to get people more involved and get to the track early and get excited about a night of racing, and I got a lot of ideas that I'm going to, of course, we run it by Martin over at RPM, to get everything going. Cause I just love racing. And we talked to me and my last guest, Larry Carr of the Sooner Late Model series.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about as a kid, when you're going down the road and you look up out the window and you see that race car on that open trailer, it just ignites the imagination of kids, and I know a lot of guys like, we want to have the fancy enclosed trailer with all the lights and the air conditioning and stuff. But, we still need those guys to pull their trailer, especially the local guys. If you live local, man, there's no reason for all that. Just bring your car on the open trailer, let the kids see it. And, really ignite the passion of young kids who may not have been exposed to racing, but I promise you, they're going to bother the crap out of their parents until they take them to see those cars.
For us being a Friday night track and not a Saturday night track, it limits us on a lot of interaction things we can do with the fans on a Friday, because, people are getting off of work and getting to the racetrack, like a lot of the Saturday tracks, in our area, they've done car shows, or they've done meet and greets earlier in the day for fans to come out and meet the drivers and things of that nature. When I was growing up going to the races, there wasn't as many classes, and you were over usually by 10:15, and people walked through the pits all night,
Right.
Where when you get 4, 5, 6 classes, depending on what events they are, it gets later in the day. And by the time the races are over with, those fans aren't, they're getting in their car and going home. So, there is a lot of interaction things, whether it's a car show at a sponsor's location to help, promote their business, as well as the racetrack, anything we can do, for our sponsors to help promote, the different businesses that advertise at our racetrack is a benefit to them and to us too. And, we'll usually hand out some free passes to the races, for customers that come in and things of that nature. Just if we can give a free pass or two away to people and they can come to the races and they come back once or twice, it's a benefit to us.
Absolutely.
We're going to spend some money at the racetrack, and we're going to get a return on our investment no matter what.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of that. I think there was I can't remember when it was. A few years ago, actually, probably more than that, because before I worked at the Devil's Bowl, I started working at the Devil's Bowl in 2017, and one of the things they did was like by zip code, like the 75126 Kaufman. If you're in the Kaufman zip code or whatever, and you show your ID, you get free admission or whatever for that night. And there was a couple different things like that went on at the racetracks, and I relish my time at Devil's Bowl Speedway, and I hate that they're not open anymore, but I'm super glad that Martin gave me a call to come back and call races starting at RPM this year, and looking to travel around and maybe do some of that at other racetracks on my off weekends. So if you ever need anybody, definitely hit me up, man, because I love calling races, and I love racing in general. My wife she's actually going to throw the 50-50 for us out at RPM. So she's got plenty of stuff to do on her own. She's going to be there anyway because she's got to drive me there. Unfortunately, I had a stroke last year, so I can't really drive on the highway, especially at night, because the lights throw me off. So she's like, well, heck, if I'm going to be driving, drop you off there, I might as well stay and work the racetrack. So that's what we're going to be doing this year, and we'd love to make our way down there to Waco. We always I say Waco, but if I said Elmont, people would have no clue.
That is correct.
Right. It's kind of like when I tell people I live in Fate, Texas, nobody has a clue. So I'm like, Rockwall, 30 miles east of Dallas. Let's just go with that. Just say Dallas.
Well, I live in West Texas, and everybody says we're at in West Texas. I said at the comma. It's literally 10 miles north of the racetrack.
Oh, trust me. I know West very well, sir. I'm all about stopping at Slovacek's, bro. Every time we come through there. So we used to stop at Nemchek Brothers, which was downtown. You had to go left over the railroad tracks and turn left, and they were in that corner right there in downtown.
So I can remember growing up with my grandfather, and we would go in there, all the grandkids, because we stayed with them in the summers at the farm, and him taking us to Nemechek's and getting free weenies. If you were a kid, you'd get a free weenie and a box of animal crackers,
Yes, sir. Yeah, they call them the West Specials. The West Specials. Yes, sir. We know about it. My girls, they love the hot chubbies.
Yes.
Hot chubbies. We get those over.
At the racetrack, we tag team announcing. I've had Colin Bell. We've had Toby Lyles from Abilene that comes down and announces for us. Last week we had Joe Spillman and Rodney that announced for us. We rotate through. All of those guys can't commit the full year because they got other commitments. Rodney does a bunch of radio stuff, and some
I'm a radio guy too.
So he gets tied up some. Spillman's, he's got a life and a grandkids, and so it's tough to get committed employees every week, on a Friday night. So Joe kind of heads up how our rotation goes in announcing, and we'll have 1 to 2 announcers this week. I think we're going to have 3 because Joe's going to kind of be the roving announcer, and I think Colin and Toby are going to be doing the up in the booth deal.
Yeah, we had Colin on earlier. He was the first guest of the night, so we talked to him, and he's talking. Okay, well, I'm going to be here, and we talked about he's going to be down there with you guys on Friday, and then somewhere else on Saturday, which is cool. I think one of the things that as I move forward doing. Actually, just announcing, like, I'd love to be. Of course, I'm on RPM full time this year. I don't typically miss races or race weekends at all. I'm also the voice of the local high school softball team, and they're pretty good, so they're probably going to make the playoffs, which is going to make my schedule super tight on the weekends.
Yes, yep.
But I'm looking forward to it, man. And we'll get together, man. Because like I said, we only race the first 3 weekends of the month. At RPM, so maybe if there's some stuff at the end of the month that you need filled, man, we'll come down and do it for sure.
Absolutely,
man. I appreciate it for coming on, Selby. I know it was last minute. We had a couple of cancellations, literally an hour before the show, so I was like, oh my gosh, I got to scramble to fill the show up. But I'm glad you were able to jump on with us and talk about what you got going on down at Hot, and we'll definitely talk to you very, very soon, my man.
Hey, absolutely, no problem. Like I said, I'm with my daily job, I'm actually down in Houston for a couple of days, and so I just literally just walked into the hotel room and turned the computer on for you. So I'll shoot you back. I'll shoot you back my number, or you can get it off the website.
Yeah,
just give me a holler anytime if you
absolutely
got something going on, or if we got something special going on we want to help promote. I may reach out to you at least to, if I'm not on, to at least plug it for us. I'd greatly appreciate
and if you guys ever do promo videos, man, shoot them over to me. I like to play them during the middle of the show and let people see what's going on at other tracks for sure.
I will get Chris over at Race On to shoot them to you. We do a promo every week with Race On. Chris and the crew over there have been awesome for us.
He's actually going to be on the show next week because I reached out to Chris because I started looking on the website and saw all the I don't want to say the rewinds, but the
replays,
recaps, right? The recaps of the races, right? And I'm like, hey, who does this for RPM? And they're like, well, nobody, because clearly it's a new system this year with new race. Of course, me being new back to the track. So I'm not going to start doing this.
Is RPM doing any broadcasting with anybody?
Yes, we're on Race On this year too.
Okay, good deal.
So I'll be doing the recap for RPM as well, which is really cool for me. I love doing it. I'm a video guy, as you'll see when the first one comes out. You'll be like, holy crap, that's a lot of video production there. I like to produce everything out and make it look sharp and clean and engaging so that people stay connected with what we're doing, man. Selby, again, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on with us, brother. We're going to get out of here. I'll talk to you in the very near future. And you guys go check it out. If you're in the Central Texas area, man, go down and check out El Mott, which is, we just say Waco because it's close enough. Between West and Waco, Texas, it's right off the highway. You cannot miss it.
That's right.
If you're headed southbound, it's on the left-hand side, guys. Just watch for the exits and go check out everything got going on at Ark-La-Tex Speedway. Selby, appreciate you so much, buddy.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
You, buddy. All right, y'all, that does it for this week's Dirt Talk Nation. We appreciate everybody for joining in, tuning in, to all of our guests for jumping on and telling us what they got going on. Remember, next week, I already told you, Chris David from Race On Texas will be on the show. The boys from Hunt County Raceway, they're going to be on the show, and so much more. Until next week, I'm going to leave you with the official theme song of the Dirt Talk Nation. It is Racing Car by my good buddy, my friend, my pal, Kenneth Waters, on the Dirt Talk Nation.